These are our top stories. A wedding guest has faced court accused of trying to run down other partygoers near Campbelltown. $55 billion has been wiped off the stock market amid a sharp sell-off in resources stocks. Tony Abbott has told Liberal supporters to vote for Malcolm Turnbull, even if it's through gritted teeth. And the discovery of water on Mars has boosted hopes of finding life there. Taking out a mortgage is risky, not only for those borrowing, but also for those lending hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, one of the big four banks is naming the Sydney suburbs where homeowners are most likely to fall behind on their mortgage repayments.
It may hardly seem it, but Padstow is a suburb at risk of mortgage default. At least that's what NAB thinks, and it's taken the locals by surprise.
We've sold 12 homes in the last 5 days. Median price now in area is about $950 to $1 million. So, I mean, yeah, it's not a struggling area by any means.
In a recent note to mortgage brokers, the bank listed 34 Sydney suburbs where it fears borrowers are at risk of default.
There's always been lists and there's always been postcode restrictions.
The difference this time, in these suburbs, NAB will now require a deposit of at least 20% before it agrees to lend money for a home. Among some of the suburbs in that postcode blacklist, Auburn and Lidcombe in the west, heading southwest, Yagoona, Cabramatta, Miller and Minto. Brokers say it will make things more difficult for more borrowers.
Particularly if we see a lot of other lenders turning around and saying, hey, you know what, maybe what NAB's doing is not a bad thing, let's create our own version of it.
It's believed NAB is limiting its exposure in suburbs where there's been strong price growth.
For its part, NAB says this is very normal practice for a bank. It's continually reviewing its risk settings to ensure it's lending responsibly. No two suburbs are the same, it says, and this strategy will add an extra level of caution.
Liverpool mortgage broker Armando Iodice fears this policy will hit first home buyers hardest.
Rare that you have a first home buyer that has a level of 20% deposit. The unfortunate outcome is that rather than helping those that are most in need, we seem to be pushing them further away from achieving their goal of owning a home.
For a full list of at-risk suburbs, head to ninenews.com.au. Eddy Meyer, 9 News.
Just months after leaving the army, Prince Harry was back in uniform today, still sporting his popular red beard. The 31-year-old dropped in to surprise students at a military school in Dover, to the excitement of the teenagers.